Alright guys, want to talk about Alice here. Now Alice is setting up, well, it looks like it's setting up for a potential bull market. You know, it reminds me of Ren before Ren went parabolic, and well, Ren actually bounced from memory 10x, but yeah, well, you can see there 10x, potentially 11x to the upside. Now I'm not saying that Alice can do the same. You know, if it got back to this top here, you know, you'd have to be very, very happy with that. 300%. You know, I think it's, you know, it looks very possible. Ideally here, we want the red 200 moving average to hold, just like it held on Ren. Okay, so when let's just do a little comparison, a zoomed in comparison. So you can kind of just see this base that's formed, and then the red 200 moving average forms, and price did spike below that, and then we spiked straight up off that. What it did was that this was a higher low, sorry, a higher high than this previous one. That's the first time in quite a while. I mean, obviously this was also, you know, the likelihood is if this is going to bounce off this level, and if we BART back up to the top of this range. Let's just move these now. If we start to BART back up, you know, if this BARTs back up to this range, well, the likelihood is that it's going to break. We then have all of these moving averages underneath price, and well, you can see what happened here. It's a grinding chop higher, so I don't think it's just going to explode. But if this market is holding up, you know, we can expect Alice to start trending higher. Now I do have on my other screen something similar, and that is TLM. TLM is let me just move this over. So TLM, the red 200 moving average, has just formed on a chart. You can just see it in here. Now price is still below this red 200 moving average, so it may take a little bit of time, you know, to get back up. But TLM, the only difference in TLM obviously is it had this big spike at the start, but we have the same base. I probably could put them all on the one window, so you can see them all there. Now Alice has had that little bit of consolidation. I mean, of course you want the red 200 moving average to start holding here, and you don't want price to drop below, a little bit like here. The only concern that I have is that there was no washout. Look at this flush. This was a flush lower and wiped out the bulls before the real move actually happened. We haven't really had that yet in Alice or TLM, so it is interesting. But I just bought a little bit of Alice here just to see if this red 200 can hold. If somehow it can hold and this starts to BART back up, well then obviously we're in a good position. I don't think it's going to move much today. Most likely on a new 3-day candle. Let's just look. So you can see here the dip back down on the red 3-day candle. So it might just take some time. It might, you know, it looks like it needs a new 3-day at least to maybe BART back up. This is not filled in. So, you know, you could buy a little bit now, or probably the safer way to do it is to wait for a new 3-day candle and then look to get in when it flips green. TLM is pretty much the same. Red 200 formed here. If we're going to start BARTing back up, you know, it could be very bullish in the near term, but it's the same setup. You can see here, you know, it's dropped back down. So red 3-day candle. We probably need, you can see here there was 2 red 3-day candles. We may need another, but to go lower. But if it does flip green on a new 3-day, well, I think TLM is a buy also. But if it does dip back down into this bottom range like it did here, well, obviously that's even better again. So I think TLM and Alice are both very good coins that could enter a bull market very soon.